Hello, my food mood friends. Welcome. Chandra Zaz and Odyssey Food and Mood Coaching in the hot tub. Having a little date with myself on a Friday afternoon. Well, at the time I'm making this video. And I have this video that has just been in my head for a few weeks now, very upfront, and even longer, a few years. And I'm so excited to create this video and put this out in the world, which is basically what making videos is like, just telling the world. It's kind of crazy because I used to stutter when I would talk to more than like two people, and now I'm made over 200 videos that are online. Kind of wild for me, and a good example of how much I've changed, which is what this video is all about today, is the potential and the how to change.
Welcome! Here is your hostess and coach, Chandra Zaz, helping people make food and mood changes doable without missing out. Go ahead, high five that like button, subscribe and share while you're there.
And even more directly, how to exponentially change. Because I've been talking about change for a long time, and it's what coaching's all about. It's what my food and mood program's all about. It's what getting healthy is all about. There's a change involved, right? And I have this awesome new coach, and she asked me this question a few weeks ago, which really started this snowball. She asked me, what sounds fun to you in your business? Because where there's fun, there's energy, there's enthusiasm, there's passion, there's energy at its, emotions at their core are energy. So bringing in and naming a fun part is like where there's energy in my business. So she asked me this question, and it took me, my brain, a day to answer. I think it was in the middle of the night that I came up with the answer, or my brain came up with the answer. And the thing that sounds the most fun to me in my business is bringing in plant medicine into my coaching business. And actually, I'm going to specify even further, medicinal journeys. So there's a part of me that wants to call this video like coming out, like I'm finally coming out, because I do feel like there's a quality of this coming outness with me sharing that this is a part of my vision for my business and a part of what I know to be true for actually making real change. Hello, my friend. How are you? I'm in the Dead Sea, floating in the water. Go ahead and like and share and follow so we can keep in touch. And so I've been kind of like on the down low and not super open about my experience with plant medicine and how much, and I'm going to clarify again, medicinal journeys, and you'll know why later why in the video I'm saying it that way, how much of an impact it's had on my life and how much it's helped me to exponentially change. And the reason that I think that, I'm going to use the example of a coaching program because that's the container that I've purposely created. And it doesn't have to only be a coaching container. When I had my first plant medicine journey, it was when I was 25 and I was living at Esalen Institute, and for 3/4 of the year and 1/4 of the year I was living at the Raw Food Zen Center, and I was studying. I was studying myself, I was studying my emotions, I was studying my mind. I was in a deep state of learning. And then my brother and I decided to travel to Brazil, and the universe had it set up that I ended up in this beautiful ayahuasca community, and I was really against it. I was really against mind-altering drugs, and I even went there with the preface of like, I'm not going to be forced into doing anything. And then I saw the consciousness and the level of presence and the quality of the people who were there, and it radically shifted my perspective of mind-altering drugs, psychedelics, if you want to make an even bigger category. And so I ended up drinking ayahuasca every other day for 5 weeks, and it had a profound effect on the food that I ate, the emotions that I was feeling, the way that I treated myself, the way that I talked to myself. It had my connection to myself, my connection to the universe, my connection to trust, and it had a big impact on me. Fast forward some years, I then I heard some stories and reached out and found someone who was leading iboga ceremonies. So I went to Costa Rica and again did a few iboga ceremonies. And both of these have had like tremendous impact in my ability to change. And I ended up working for the woman who was running the iboga retreats, and one of the conversations that we had really struck me, where she said, not everyone has the changes that you had. And so she and I like brainstormed a lot about like what were the differences. And she even started like a follow-up program with like an integration program to integrate the messages and the learnings from the plant medicine. And this is really where like my vision for my business really, for my coaching business really was born from, was this combination of doing the inner work, whether it's having a therapist or being in a coaching program, or, I mean, you could even do like books, but having some form of like really learning, like really intentionally learning. And then what my experience is with plant medicine is that it takes it from this intellectual knowledge into this cellular knowing and being. And that is really the power that I have witnessed and experienced of combining self-growth with plant medicine. There's a really cool Netflix series that I just noticed last night called How to Change the Mind. And there's 4 episodes on mushrooms, acid, or LSD, mescaline, and MDMA. And the whole idea is like, we have these neural pathways in our brain, that we have these habits from what we were taught as kids, from our culture. We have these belief systems, these habitual ways of thinking, and then therefore showing up in the world and feeling. And so these, like, they feel like they just are us, but they're actually just pattern loops. And it's possible to change any of these pattern loops, whether it's your relationship with food, whether it's your relationship to romantic partners, whether it's relationship to your emotions, whether it's stress, depression, anxiety, whatever like loop that you're in, or whatever loop that is feeling like it's not working for you in your life, it's possible to change these loops. It takes time and attention, and it takes a certain level of discomfort. It takes like learning and practicing something new. And then when we bring in these plant medicine journeys, it like exponentiates the change. And so I'm really excited to start collaborating with a few of my very dear people in my life to start offering this as a part of a component, an optional component of my coaching program. So if this is something you're interested in, then definitely reach out to me, because I am so excited about it. It's really, really exciting that I finally like coming out. I'm coming out with my true vision and true dream of my business. And I also had something, the reason that I keep saying medicinal journeys is because I just recently, part that I've had struggled with in my brain of like, how do I offer people to go to Brazil or go to Africa for these plant medicine journeys? Because in the US, neither of these are legal. So it's not a good idea to advertise, offer, participate in when it's not legal. So I was like, how do I like organize these like big trips, and which actually is still going to be on the horizon. I am going to organize a trip to Brazil. I have a very dear friend, soul sister, who we're working on this. But what else has popped up recently and has really encouraged me even more to create this video is that ketamine is a Schedule 3, I think that's right, legal substance. And there's like over 50 years, I think it's 70 years of research on it, on how safe it is. And it is, I have a dear friend who we have started talking about collaborating with, where he has already started doing these medicinal journeys with ketamine, and it's completely legal, and it's only 1 hour. So it's totally doable to do on a weekend. It's not going to take 2 weeks out of anyone's year. And it's really accessible. It's extremely safe. It's been tested for decades. And it has this same quality, this same potential for exponential change. And I actually, because this is something that I want to start offering to my clients, and the universe is aligning such, I actually decided to try a journey, even though I didn't really feel like I necessarily needed it. I feel like I'm in a really good place in my life, and I feel, there's not really anywhere that I'm stuck or actively trying to change. And I wanted to, if I'm going to recommend it to people, I wanted to experience it. And so I experienced a ketamine journey last week, and in a medicinal setting, and it was out of this world, wild, like incredible experience. And so I got to know the personality. Like I like to think of each different plant medicine journey as like having their own kind of characters. Like ayahuasca, I like to kind of call the mama, where you like one of the big arching themes is like feeling of connection. And iboga is a lot about like seeing ourselves, seeing how what we're doing in the world is affecting the world, and then how that's affecting us. And ketamine has this like its own personality that's actually like a little bit of a combination of the two, where there is this feeling of connection to everything. Like I got on ayahuasca actually. I actually have not described my ketamine experience, so this is interesting to say, do it first time on camera. And also a really clear mirror to see ourselves. So it's almost like a hybrid between the two, which is really interesting. And the really beautiful thing about all three of these is the change in our neural pathways, that where our brain gets stuck in one loop. These medicine journeys, they open up our brain to embody and step into our way of being, the way that we're wanting to change into. There's no changes that happen that we don't want to happen. They're all changes that we want, that some level of us wants, or that we are actively wanting. And when we're actively wanting, and this is where I'm really excited about teaming up with my friend, is like the ketamine journey in combination with intentional coaching and working towards and practicing those changes that we want to make, and then combining them. There's just this incredible potential for very serious, amazing, radical change. And I just can't be like, I'm just so excited that there's a legal option that's like accessible on a weekend to have this medicinal journey and exponentiate change. So I am so excited about this work. I'm so excited that I'm like sharing this video while I'm having a date with myself in the hot tub. But I just really, really wanted to make this video. So yeah. If this is something that you're interested in being a part of my beta group and working with me in this way, please reach out to me. And if you know somebody who is interested in this kind of work, then please send them my contact, this video. And yeah, growing consciousness, making the world a better place, showing up as best as we possibly can is my jam. And it does really start with food. Food is actually something that naturally shifts when we become more conscious and more sensitive and more aware, is that our relationship to food changes. It actually like really exponentiates this. When we become more aware of how we're feeling, how our body feels, the sensitivity we feel towards foods, it makes the relationship to our food change. Like we want to eat at a higher vibration. We want to eat cleaner foods. We want to, like, you know, a lot of my clients, like what they say is like, oh, I can suddenly taste the chemicals. I can suddenly feel my vibration drop when I eat this food versus when I eat this food. And plant medicine also really exponentiates this shift. It also has an incredible way to rewire emotional patterns and emotional default reactions in a profound way. It's one of the things that really helped me with my depression and my stress levels and ultimately my relationship with myself. It's a lot of what the work is. So have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much.